Hello Bookish friends, welcome to another From Pages to Screen video. Today's video is a special video for series September, and I will talk about the adaptations of a first book in series, The Unexpected Mrs. Polifax by Dorothy Gilman. The Unexpected Mrs. Polifax by Dorothy Gilman was published in 1966 by Doubleday and Company. This book is the first book in Dorothy Gilman's Cozy Spy series. It introduces Emily Polifax, a widowed grandmother in her 60s who lives a quiet life in New Brunswick, New Jersey. Feeling bored and without a purpose, she decides to fulfill a childhood dream, becoming a spy. She shows up at CIA headquarters and, thanks to a mix-up, is given a seemingly harmless courier assignment in Mexico. Things quickly go wrong. She is kidnapped and taken to Albania, where she is held by communist agents. I read this book earlier this year, and this was a pleasant surprise for me. Mrs. Polifax was unexpectedly delight to read, like the title suggests. I love the humor of the book, which is a bit dark, but like the synopsis suggests, it's still a cozy spy mystery. Emily Polifax is quite resourceful, but she is also a very quick thinker and problem solver, so it was impossible not to like her. The adventures that she goes through in this book is quite unbelievable, but her very delightful character makes up for it. So my rating for the book was 8 out of 10. And this book was adapted twice. The first adaptation is Mrs. Pollifax Spy, a 1971 American comedy film directed by Leslie G. Martinson, starring Rosalind Russell, Darren McGavin, and Nehemiah Parsoff. It was released by United Artists. Russell wrote the screenplay for the film, which she adapted from the novel. She used the pen name C.A. McKnight, which was taken from her mother's maiden name. It was unfortunately Russell's last role in a theatrically released movie. The film had its premiere in London on February 17, 1971, and it premiered in the United States on March 11, 1971 in Des Moines. The second adaptation was a TV movie. It was titled the same as the book, The Unexpected Mrs. Polifax. It was produced by CBS, and it starred Angela Lansbury in the title role, Thomas Ian Griffith as Farrell, and Ed Bishop as Carstairs. Because CBS was the same network that produced Lansbury's long-running hit Murder, She Wrote, this movie was likely considered to be the pilot for a possible follow-up series, which never materialized. In From Pages to Screen, I evaluate the adaptations of the book according to 4 criteria: faithfulness to the book, casting choices, acting quality, and my IMDB rating. I try to be as objective as I can in the first 2 criteria, whereas of course I'm more subjective in the second 2. As for faithfulness to the book, I will give the 1971 adaptation a plus, although it changes something. The plot is quite faithful to the book. It doesn't change the series of adventures and misfortunes taking place in Albania. Whereas I will give check to 1991 version. Although the first half of the movie is quite faithful to the book, it deviates from the plot of the book and tells a very different story starring Emily Polifax. As for casting choices, I will give both of the movies plus. Acting divas chosen for both of the movies were age appropriate. They certainly looked the role of a harmless but quite resourceful and clever elderly woman. And of course, Angela Lansbury has an additional advantage of being very much associated with Jessica Fletcher, another amateur detective. For acting quality, I will give 1971 version a check. Although Rosalind Russell was very regal and very age appropriate for the role, I thought she played the role a bit more serious than the book intended to be. I really like the secondary characters in this movie, so it's a check. For 1999 version, it is quite the opposite. Angela Lansbury fits the role like a glove. Her acting is very, very good. However, the other supporting actors sort of felt like overacting in their roles. It is also a check. As for my IMDB rating, I will give 1971 version a 7. The production quality of the movie was not very good. However, I really liked how they tried to portray Albania, which was not an available country to shoot in at that time, quite well, and it had an advantage over 1999 movie by following the exciting and also quite zany plot. The 1999 version got a 6 out of 10 from me. Although it was not a bad movie, the best thing about the movie was Angela Lansbury, and she played her part real well, like I said, but the production quality was very inferior. Also, the connections between the two halves were very weak. So this was my comparison of the book The Unexpected Mrs. Polifax by Dorothy Gilman with its two adaptations. The general consensus on the internet is that this series deserves a modern adaptation, and I definitely agree with that thought. With the right cast and the production budget, I think this book series would have quite a success as consequent movies following this quite clever but also quite eccentric old lady, since the adaptations of similar books are quite popular nowadays. Please comment down below, did you read the Emily Polifax series or watch the two adaptations? And what did you think of them? If you're a new viewer, first of all, welcome. Please like and subscribe. Hope to see you very soon. Bye. For Turkish word of the day, I'm going to choose unexpected. Unexpected means beklenmedik in Turkish, and beklenmedik is our Turkish word of the day. Have a good day.